Okay, so we're talking about we're talking about um, we're talking about things like um, tax rights. We're talking about past history and culture, where basically leadership has changed, or basically situations in our environment have changed, such as the growth and expansion of industries and things like that, where it's helped to grow our nation because of taxation, because we have more money, because more people is out working, and how those rights might basically be looked at or violated because others right now aren't getting the same treatment and equal rights as they feel they should. So, what I guess I was trying to say in the closing of the last video was that basically I don't even remember what I said, but there's some things to address in the way our government is going where it could be changed. Right now, I am a firm believer that if you have a house divided, then your house can't stand. Basically, it's a simple law that will be in the Bible if you read somewhere. I'm not a quote person, but that's your job to understand and know that. But basically, if your house is divided, it will not stand. It will be separated against each other. It don't say that exactly word for word, but in simple terms is that it comes down to Revelations or in other places areas. It says that your house is not in order. So what does that mean, I guess, for us? Basically, you have two sides to our house. You got the Republican and the Democratic, and then you got the people that are independent that really don't want to be part of each other. Basically, they lean either way. And what we need is, you can't tell me that if we got 260 seats, or we got X amount of seats in Congress, or we got X amount of seats in the House of Representatives, you can't tell me that, okay, you got, let's say you got half of them agree that think one way, and you got another half cause a yawning sensation. Okay, if you got half of them that think one way, and you got half the other that think the other way, you cannot basically sit here and tell me that between the two, everything that the blue side thinks of, the red side is against, and basically they don't work. What I'm trying to say is that individually wise, basically it is not progressively helpful, because we need to have individuals that think on their own, and they need to stand up on their own, and they need to be leaders on their own, to say or be against or define or provide or develop problems, situations that they don't think are basically problemsome, such as if the red side or public side says we do not believe that there needs to be basically school buses that are short anymore. They all need to be long. Okay, and the blue side disagrees with this, and they say we need to have short buses, and all of them should be short buses. We need to have 2 short buses per 1 long bus. So when we basically have a debate and we have this sentimental addressing in Congress, we basically have a group of people that say, okay, one, we need to choose. We're going to have this or that. Now, if you're on the red side, you're probably going to pull for everybody that's on the red side, and basically you can pretty much guarantee you vote from everybody that's going to be on the red side. And then if you're on the blue side, everybody can pretty much agree with something else on the blue side. So then we get this haggling. The problem is okay, the blue side says the red side, well, you will do something for me, you do something for me, I'll do something for you, you do something for me. Okay. So, in reality, we don't progressively see or change or provide or do anything better for the cause of our country when we're in a divided state. We need to have the ability to have individuality, meaning that those rights, basically what I'm trying to say here, is that when those things that happen and they go to Congress, they are addressed and known by a privileged, okay, I gotta make words like Sarah Palin, privileged Okay, those that have the privilege and the ability and obligation to do what is adhered to by them. Okay, those that are in position of power with privilege, because we appointed them. Okay, privilegiated. Okay, however you want to spell it. But those that are privilegiated to do that. Okay, those people need to go back to the source, to the people of who elected them as Congress, to help make those changes possible. That means basically when there is a sense of order or there is a thing of judgment to be voted on, you should or somehow need to be able to address the public community and allow the public community to voice their opinions to that leader. That leader needs to be neither red nor blue to decide or vote on what each person in each cultural area decides to do. Meaning, if you got a certain amount of people elected, and each one of them people poll and have interaction with each one of their neighboring fellows, meaning if you go back to your townships and your counties and your districts and things like that, when you have the ability to address and work with those people in those areas, and the people have the ability to address to you how or what they need to see changed, or if there's a simple tally, like a tallywhacker, if there's a tallywhacker type of thing where basically we get a vote on, you get to take it to our council. This is how our district votes, and basically this is basically you are the chief, and we work for you. We tell you what we want you to do, and you go present that to the higher up bosses on what we need to see and how we need to see it changed. When you do that, and then you go to those people to make those changes, basically you present a more rounded, realistic project type of system. What's happening, so basically I don't really need to beat around the bush, but it makes proper use of our channels and makes more realistic judgment on what we need to have done and how we need to make changes, how we need to see things done between people with Congress, and how we can voice our opinions. So red and blue is out, and gray or whatever colors in between. I guess maybe blue and red make a color. So so whatever that number is, the thing is, whatever's in between, that's what it needs to be. You can't have in our society and day and age, we need to do away with the different parties, because it's really holding us back from really expanding and just booming in growth. And that can be very much debated upon, but it would take a new way of doing things, and it would take a little harder culture. If you just took the colors away, or took the different parties away, you have individuality. You have leadership emerge. You'd have leadership and problems looked at in different areas, because no one really know how to handle, or no one know how to address certain problems, because they want to be looking to see whose voice is agreed on. They would go basically upon what was right. So then, therefore, you could have people that agreed on more things, and you get things passed. But yet also, also likewise share similar ideas. And if there need to be things added, those things could be added within reason. So it's a better practice to me, I would think.